28 years later, directed by Danny Boyle, written by Alex Garland, featuring Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Jodie Comer, and newcomer Alfie Williams. I say newcomer, relative newcomer, Alfie Williams. This film was fantastic. Genuinely, absolutely fantastic. Superb. Had a great time with it. Great time with it's kind of misleading, isn't it? It makes it sound like you just had a rip-roaring time. I didn't. This is a beautiful film. It's horrifying, it's gory, it's gross. But at its core, it is a story about the human condition, I guess. It's a beautiful film. Beautiful film. So, let's talk about the iPhone shot movie. And if you could tell, I guess, what was good, what was bad, what I liked, what I disliked, what I would change, and what I'm hoping for in the future. So, non-spoilers, just to quickly review it. It's stunning. The cinematography is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I wouldn't necessarily say that you could tell it's been shot on an iPhone. I don't think you can. I think you can tell that it's a Danny Boyle film and an Alex Garland film. But I don't necessarily think you can tell it's shot on an iPhone. And that is, of course, to its benefit, you know. It's unique. Stylistically, it's unique. Now, whether the iPhones did anything particular for that, I don't know, really. I'm aware 28 Days Later was shot in a rather unique way, similar to this, of course. So, maybe it did. Maybe it did. Of course, it is, 28 years later from the outbreak. And the story does progress. And it takes us into an interesting area moving forwards. Time hasn't healed. But that's a dual meaning to a degree in this film. The score was incredible. I was wondering whether, from the trailer, because from the trailer they had Rudyard Kipling's Boots. I was wondering whether that would make an appearance in the film, and it did. This is non-spoilers. But it was so good to hear it. So good to hear it. But the score, both track list and original soundtrack that they made for this, was great. Really, really, really good. And I will just keep going back to the cinematography. The cinematography is just impeccable. Absolutely impeccable. The colour grading, the editing, all of it was brilliant. I do wonder whether some of the choices made will resonate more with British people than they will Americans. I think that may be the case. But I loved it. I absolutely adored it. I thought it was a great film. It is incredibly tense. There are a lot of tense scenes in this. Well-crafted horror. Now, it's not scary. And I say this about any horror film. If you're an adult and you're getting scared by horror, well, I don't know what to tell you, to be honest. But was I unnerved? Was I clenching a little bit here and there? Was it squeaky butt moments because you didn't quite know what was going to happen? Yeah, there was a lot of that. There was a lot of that. There wasn't like jump scares, which I guess is synonymous with horror these days. Very well crafted. I mean, if you've watched 28 Days Later, like, you know kind of the horror that you're going to get with this, right? So I will say this as non-spoilers, because I'm going to get to spoilers in a minute, obviously, right? But as non-spoilers, in a non-spoiler review section, Jodie Comer, who plays Isla, wow, what a great performance. Stand-out performance, actually. Really, really good. And you know what? I didn't quite know what to expect when she first appeared in the movie. I was like, oh. I mean, this is a great performance. But I was like, oh, this is okay, interesting. This is her character, is it? No. No. Silly me. Silly me for thinking that would just be it. No. This is probably her best performance ever. Genuinely, I do think that this is probably her best performance ever. There's a lot of depth. There's a lot of nuance. It's raw. It's emotional. And I think it probably took a lot to do, to be honest. I thought it was a really, really good performance. Best performance of the film goes to Jodie Comer. Then it's Alfie Williams, who plays her son, Spike. He's a great actor. I will be really intrigued to see what he does moving forwards. And I hate child actors. So if I'm praising him and saying he's great, my God, you know he was good. Ralph Fiennes, brilliant. Really, really brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. I'm not going to reveal too much about his character, but fantastic. Yeah, great. Aaron Taylor-Johnson, great. Everyone in the cast, brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, really, really decent. I'm excited for 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. And I can't quite tell where they're going to go with this. I genuinely can't quite tell. I don't know what the overarching story is going to be here. So, I'm intrigued. I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, let's talk spoilers, shall we? Yes, let's talk spoilers. One thing I should have said in non-spoilers should have been the prosthetic work and the visual effects. The visual effects are great in this. So what's the story? What is the story? Well, we do start back in effectively when the outbreak happens. We do start there. It's in the trailer. You do see it. And we are introduced to a child at the start. And Jimmy, he then goes off. We don't see him again. We are left wondering if he was Aaron Taylor-Johnson's character, but I did think to myself, well, it can't be, because obviously it's different hairstyles, but okay, different hair colours, but okay. No, flash forward 28 years later after that opener. And, yeah, we're on Holy Island, a real place. And there is a community there. They're safe. They've built a community. We do get a brief bit of information about the world. There's a permanent, there's a permanent isolation quarantine zone around England. I did wonder to myself whether this would be an allegory for any political elements, and I think maybe there is some allegories here and there. Because we get a drop down of some text, and it says, the virus raged, pushed back from continental Europe, and then it sort of broke out in Great Britain, and then continental Europe pushed back, and now there's a permanent quarantine zone around the United Kingdom. And I did wonder whether Danny Boyle or Alex Garland would use that as an allegory for Brexit. That was the UK leaving the European Union. And I don't necessarily think that's the case, by the way. It might be as we move forwards with these films, but I don't think it is. It doesn't appear to be. It doesn't seem to be. Anyway, we then go to this island, this community, and Aaron Taylor-Johnson and his son. It's his big day. He's going to the mainland, like a prove yourself manly thing. And his mother, played by Jodie Comer, is just a bit mental, to be honest. We don't really know what's wrong with her until later in the film. She's got something wrong with her. She has episodes where she doesn't quite understand. She's all a bit weird and violent and aggressive and sort of euphoric, etc. Anyway, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Jamie and Spike, his son, they go to the mainland. It's just a hunting trip, basically. It's a coming-of-age hunting trip. They come across the fat, slow, baby-like infected. Kill him. But then there's the alphas. The alphas, the big things. The really, really, really big things. And they explain in the movie that the rage virus, for some, effectively becomes like a steroid. And they grow in... And this is what they say in the movie. That's not how steroids work, obviously. But they also grow in stature. So they're these like 7-foot hulking monsters. Which is cool. Good development. They've not died. You know, these creatures haven't died. They're still there. They're still going. Yeah, interesting. More intelligent than the others. The alphas are much more intelligent. They sort of rule a pack of the fast ones. And anyway, they come across one of them. And they have to run away and hide. And they do finally make it back to the island. It's a chase scene which is shown in the trailer. And it's a really tense chase scene. It's, again, beautifully crafted. Great, great, great scene. All of the scenes were brilliant. And they just look so well shot. The cinematography is amazing. Standout. It's absolutely amazing. Anyway, when they were out, they saw flames. Spike saw flames in the distance, a fire. And he asked Jamie, his dad, what is that? And Jamie didn't want to say, wasn't interested in it. But anyway, it comes to pass, someone else mentions to Spike what it is, and it's Dr. Kelson, played by Ralph Fiennes. That's him. He's there. And so obviously Spike is like, well, Mum's sick, so why can't we take her to the doctor? Like he can fix her. And you know, Jamie, Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, is like, no, he's insane. You know, we saw him once 15 years ago, and it was just hundreds, if not thousands, of corpses, and they were just all piled up and organised, and he was just burning them, and so we never went back. Anyway, Spike then takes his mother to go and see Dr. Kelson, and we see his bone temple. So this is why I don't understand or know where they're going to go with this moving forwards. Because Dr. Kelson is in the second one as well. But it's called 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where they go with it. But anyway, Spike and his mother go there. And there's just some incredibly touching scenes with Spike and his mother as they're traversing the land to get to Dr. Kelson. And it's a really human story. It's beautiful. And really touching, actually. Anyway, cut a long story short, turns out she has cancer. And yeah, it's painful. Yeah, she's going to die. And so, obviously, Isla and Dr. Kelson had maybe a knowing nod here or there. But effectively, it's an unspoken deal that Dr. Kelson is going to kill her. So she doesn't have to go through the pain of dying of cancer. Brain cancer. And it's a really touching moment because Dr. Kelson teaches Spike that, you know, we all must die. But there's sort of the beauty of the love that you hold for those that die, basically. And his bone temple isn't a morbid thing. It's we remember everyone, basically. You know, they are the same and not the same. And anyway, so that happens. Dr. Kelson gives Spike his mother's skull. And it's a really, really touching moment where he goes, you know, find the perfect spot for her to rest. And it's beautiful. I thought the dialogue was beautiful. It's very nuanced. It's not a lot said, but there is a lot said there. And anyway, he climbs to the top of the bone temple and, yeah, puts a skull facing dawn, sunrise. Touching, really, really touching. There's some other bits and pieces throughout this that I don't necessarily have to spoil. I'm not going to spoil it. I will leave it. I've spoken nearly for 15 minutes now. I would absolutely unequivocally go watch it. A lot of people are like, oh, it's tonally all over the place. No, I disagree. I don't think it's tonally all over the place at all. I think it's about what you would expect. There is an end part which is a bit weird, but I think that's going to play into the next movie better than it does in this one, I guess. But the boy from the start is grown up and comes into contact with Spike at the end of the movie, and it is slightly odd. But I think you would understand it more if you were British, because you see kind of people like that pretty often. Just kind of what they dress like. But yeah, strong recommendation. I thought this film was brilliant. Really, really, really good. I thought it was fantastic. To me, it's the best film of the year so far, which I guess isn't saying a lot because we're halfway through, aren't we? So maybe go watch it. Go watch it.